Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33 teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning everyone. It is the 30th of October here in Auckland, New Zealand. If you're listening to this in the Northern Hemisphere on the day that I put it up, it'll be a Sunday, which is a great time for you to listen to what the energy of the week is and make a transition from last week into this week's energy. How are you all feeling after the full moon lunar eclipse? Yesterday was a little bit of a tiring roller coaster ride for me, energetically, emotionally, and everything that I was already picking up for my clients this week. But before I get into that, if you're listening to this on YouTube, on Spotify, on the Beacon app, please don't forget to like, tag, subscribe, let people know that this platform exists. This is a platform that I have funded solely by myself, and apps take a lot of financial and time investment. So the more that you let people know, the more that I can keep putting up new content and developing the app. So it is your one-stop shop for all your spiritual needs, guidance and healing. Okay, so the full moon. So I went outside on Saturday night, which was Saturday night here in New Zealand, and released energy, just asking for all chapters that don't serve me anymore, disappointments of the past to be completely let go of. And then on Sunday, I was feeling the residue of the old feelings. And it was really hard to keep those emotions under control, because I knew I was picking up energy for clients this week as well, who, because last week I set the Monday mantra for I'm prepared to let go and be in the present. And I noticed as I was going through the week, triggers coming up and then forcing myself to get back into the present. And remember, when I talk about these things, it's because I'm picking up everybody's energy as well. So that's why when I see one client after the other, I start to feel better, because I know that it's their traumas also releasing. And being in the present is a very, very difficult thing to do. And so with these letting go of old chapters, you might still be feeling some of the residue of it in this first few days, which I'll talk about in a minute. But with last week's Monday mantra, we've worked against each other. We've just done our thing on our own. And the teamwork thing is really a part of those chapters where we have had to do everything on our own that needs to open up from the letting go of old things. And this is not necessarily meaning we're surrounded by a whole lot of people, but we do all need support in some way. And whether you are in a relationship or whether you are a single person, that support is going to be coming in and around you, and you need to want to surrender to it so that you can actually receive the benefits of having that support in your life. The particular focus last week, which was, being present, being grounded, that, in what we're doing, and only, because, the present is the only thing that we can really control. Control should be lack of a better word, but control meaning like what we have in front of us is what we have right now, because anything can change at any time. And the here and the now, and sitting with that, and allowing ourselves to hear our intuition and our soul speak is in this present moment. It's not the future, it's not the past, it's now. And the action that we're needing to take is through the signs and our heart guidance to come back to our knowing. So not out of a place of recklessness or being obsessive, like I need to know now and everything needs to change now. That impatience, it's really about letting go and coming back to the present, letting go and coming back to the present, not letting go and coming back to the past, or going back to the past and letting go and then going into the future, because that is not allowing the true transmutation of the energy to be released. I spent as much time as I could just by myself. It was actually a very busy week, so I took whatever time I could, including a drive out to one of my favorite food shops to go and get the groceries that I needed, and listening to the music that I wanted to, and then coming back to the place of, okay, how do I go back into the team? The team as in relationship, people that support me, my friendships, all of that. And when I was going through the week, I had a lot of wanting to I would shut people out. But when I did intuitively let people in, it actually made me feel a lot better. So I knew that the people were coming in for me to surrender to that rather than going, hang on, no, I can do this on my own. We're not starting again from the beginning. We're building from an existing foundation. This is why being back in the present was what we really needed to focus on for last week, and why I recap this is so that you all have an understanding. For those of you who are regular listeners of the Monday Mantras will know that one energy transitions into the next, and it's important to reflect and review what's happened for you. Be in that space of serenity, enjoy whatever natural beauty you can to put yourself at ease, and that standing still while everything else is beginning to catch up. And sometimes when things catch up, it can be a bit emotional because you are really realizing the impact of all that's happened and what needs to be done now in order to seek the stability and security in the present and accept what is ending as a resolution for your highest good. Now, when I talk about these endings and letting go, now I know because of the way that I clear past lives for people, transmute energy for them, with them, I should say, when that lesson is learned, even if it's a horrible thing, say sexual trauma, people can actually grieve the loss of that chapter being closed because that's all they've ever known. And it's like, if I don't have that to hold on to, who am I? So, I give you as simplistic Monday mantras as I can, but there's actually a lot of depth and a lot of things to think about within the words that I say. And as we moved through the week, the card, a new idea came up. And the new idea for last week was a means of a new way of thinking, with these old patterns coming up, worst case scenario thinking, fears, and perhaps even like, I just can't cope with this. And that was all part of the worst case scenario energy being released for that full moon that we had. But it's going to leave us with a new foundation of a new way of thinking. And there is a solution and an ability to work with people who will be able to help you come up with solutions. So feel safe in knowing that you're not alone and you don't have to figure it out yourself. Solutions are ideas being present, and help is on its way. Remember to stay still and receive and see things unfold. So that was the card that came up in the message that Spirit delivered. And when old fears and traumas have been blocking us, which they've blocked all of us are different. We all have our own paths. We all have different degrees of trauma in different lifetimes. And the process of letting them go comes in phases. But being in the present and trusting the process will give you the security to close chapters as they arise. That's why I said it's not about letting go and then going back to the worst case scenario, letting go and then going to the future worst case scenario that, if I do this or this could happen. And as someone said to me over the weekend, we could think ourselves into anything, so we may as well think ourselves into what we want and being here in the now. It is hard to stay present and grounded, especially when old fears from lifetimes before and this life are trying to pull us back. And I said were trying to pull us back because we're moving forward. But I could see it in my clients, having to hide themselves and be imposters for the fear of not being accepted into the wider team, but pretending they're all okay. And there's a process of being honest with yourself at the moment. I had to keep bringing myself to the now, not to the years before or the years to come, surrendering to be a different way. And with that lunar eclipse, it stirred things up. It really stirred things up in me too. And everyone wants to know everything all at once, but we need to go in phases. And I always have to remind myself of that too, because there's things we need to let go of and heal before new things can come in. And this is why those old chapters are closing, and a lot of them closed last week. I could feel it, and I too was mourning the loss of not using my independence as a weapon anymore. That's a big one for me. And I mentioned that, I think, the week before, or week before that, I can't remember. But we have to trust the process now by staying still, watching it leave, but not participating, because the alternative is to be in fear and stay the same. So I hope that you use the full moon lunar eclipse to release and say goodbye and see the greatness of what is in store for all of us now, and being grounded to nourish ourselves and those you love in your team. Now remember, I'm always here for you. There are different ways to be able to see me. Yes, there are wait lists for everything, but it's always the right time when you do see me. Seeing me in person is probably going to be the easiest way going forward. And mini readings, personalized meditations are always available. Soul Magics are on a wait list at the moment, just because when I do those, I can only do so many and monitor everybody's responses to how the energy is clearing. But, personalized meditations are very effective, and I put everything I have into them, and they're like a session based on how you show up with the energy of what you're asking to be shifted. And I know most of you ask me to decide what you want, and that tells me a lot about a person too. It's like they just trust, rather than, I can always tell when someone goes, I want it to be about this and this and this, that they're trying to control. But that's okay. That's not criticism. It's just a observation. So Kieran is the person to contact, as you know, if you need any help at all. soul33@gmail.com. And if you haven't signed up for a newsletter, you can go to the homepage on the app, www.soul33.com. We've sent out a couple so far, and we're only doing once a month. But there'll be, a short little article in there every month. So you just go and sign up for that on the website. And of course, the app, now those of you who are new, welcome. We've got people all over the world. It's very, very exciting. I'm so grateful that you're here on this journey with me. It's only $60 a year to be a part of this app. I keep the payment gateway off the app because the app stores take a huge percentage, and this is why your more traditional meditation apps charge a lot for being members, such as 15 to 20 US dollars per month. And the reason why I keep it at such an affordable cost is because, yes, it's you have to go to the link to renew or become a member, but if not, the alternative is me doubling or probably having to triple the price of the app subscription, and I'm wanting to make sure it's affordable for everyone, so you can always be somewhere supported by Soul 33. Okay, so we're going to move into this week's energy. I am nourishing my needs to embrace my future. I am nourishing my needs to embrace my future. What are your needs? I want you to actually make a list of them. So part of your homework was the Nourished 5, so that would have helped in identifying them. But what are your needs? Your needs for yourself and needs that you need met by other people, because one person can't meet all of their needs. So with the eclipses now complete in October, we may be feeling a bit vulnerable at the beginning of the week, this week, and wanting to withdraw. So if you're feeling a bit disappointed in some way, it's only because of the past disappointments that you've faced, because the focus this week is on nourishing your needs and embracing the future. So again, what are your needs? It's a really hard question to answer. And how do you ask for them to be met? We want to inject some calmness into our lives this week, gentle self-care to really water your soul, and working on things that you are passionate about or taking a step towards a passion. Learn something, take a step towards it. I'm finding a lot of people, whether it's through mini readings or during sessions, are wanting to move into a different type of job from what they're doing. But this is where you have to ask yourself, well, how are you going to take a step towards it? There's no point complaining, oh, my life is a mess, or oh, things are not working out, or I want to be able to do work that is spiritual. The thing is, you need to know how to take a step forward. Like for me, the one thing, one of the things that I'm very good at is I just do. I don't even, when it comes to my determination and drive, I just do things. And I don't know what's going to be the outcome when I take steps forward. I just trust my knowing and I do it. And it will teach me something. It will lead me to something or someone. And this is really important. If you're wanting to change your career or do something, you have to actually act and take a risk and nourish what you want and not complain about it or not go, I don't know. Look for something that you want. Ask the universe to say, put in front of my eyes what it is that I'm meant to be doing next, and wait for it. And that's the surrendering to it, letting go and being in the present. The clearing process at the moment might feel like there are delays, but clearing is a creative thing because it's making space for the things that you want, a process of what you want to keep and what you don't want, which all stems back to nourishing what you want to embrace your future. Our old beliefs on a conscious or unconscious level are shifting in order for us to be seen and heard in a way that we deserve. It's been a time of great change with the need of deep reflection, and love is beginning to blossom. This is within relationships and also the bridge coming back to ourselves for love to find us, because there has to be a bridge for someone to be able to walk over to you or whatever, however, or bridge back to yourself with self-love. So the disappointment energy is just old stuff. It's not your current reality. See your seed starting to grow and embrace ends, knowing that there are better horizons, not in the distance any longer, but looking right at you. The future is here and now. And your self-belief this week is what will allow the light to shine onto how your vision for yourself is showing up. So you have to believe in yourself also when you're wanting to change things or bring in more, and keeping your heart open to receive these experiences and see these experiences show up for you, not being oblivious to all the opportunities we get every day. So this is a reminder that whatever needs to be moved aside will be for the greatest good of your visions, because they're all becoming a reality, and you're reminded that as old cycles break, new ones begin that serve you better. So a lot there to think about, and a lot there to sit and resonate with on some level of how you're going to nourish your needs to embrace the future. I will have a new meditation upload for you this week because it is going into November, my birthday month. Quite a few Scorpios in my life along with me on this journey. And remember, we're always here for you. And I'm only one person, so I'm doing the very, very best that I can to do what I do to support you all, and then come back to myself so that I can do it again. Now, when I work on Zoom, I'm back to back, and when I'm seeing you in person, I only see one. And so there is spaces in between that I need to shift energy of you so that I can actually come back to myself and do it all again. So this is why there is a wait list. But as I said, all in good time, and there are just so many other ways to connect with me. So if you need short answers for any guidance, mini readings are the way to go for app members. If you're wanting healing, personalized meditations are also a great way. And then trust the timing. That's all we can do for everything in our life. Let us know in the group chat of the app how you're getting on, how you're feeling, what's coming up in the meditations for you, what cards you're pulling, where you are in the world. That is what the group chat is for. Now, I can't reply to personal messages there because there are so many people that if I open that door, I will just never sleep or never rest, and it's too hard for me to be able to reply to personal questions. This is why we have the mini readings where I can actually sit in your energy and properly reply. But the group chat is there for you to talk about what's going on for you and what you're experiencing, and because I know there's a lot of you that look at it, but not everybody writes on it, which is fine, but I do check in from time to time to have a read about what you're all doing. So I really appreciate seeing your messages there. And your Monday mantra is, I'm nourishing my needs to embrace my future. I am nourishing my needs to embrace my future. You can do this. You can take a step forward. You can be grateful for what you have. You can allow the new and release all the old disappointments and recreate the beautiful future that is here and now.